Hi guys, and welcome to day 14 of the Sketchbook challenge. Today I'm doing a Draw This Again challenge, and I showed in the beginning a two-page spread that I had done in my red moleskin sketchbook, and I thought that sketchbook was a lot older than it actually is. I thought it was from like 2014, but it turns out I only drew this in 2016, so it wasn't too long ago, but I was always really proud of that page, and I wanted to try it again now that I think I'm a little bit better with mixed media. And I was just too afraid back then to add a lot of media, so it wasn't really mixed media. I just called it that. So I usually just stuck down a different piece of paper on top of the regular paper, and then I just painted on that. So I wanted to do it again, and I wanted to change a lot. Like, I wanted it to be more close-up. And the only things that I really kept was the moon, the blue background, and the girl's face. I just wanted to do a close-up of her face, and I really like how it came out in the end. I'm not a big fan of the background, but I really love this girl, and yeah, I was kind of proud of that. But I started by gluing down some tissue paper. I just glued down some regular tissue paper to the regular paper, and I thought that the spiral binding was going to be a challenge, but I don't think it bothered me all that much. Once the tissue paper was down, it was kind of less noticeable, and I was really happy with it. And the book still closes fine, so it's good. And I glued down some musical note scrapbook paper, because I use a quote from an Astaire. Oh, is that how you say his name? Fred Astaire. From a Fred Astaire song later in the video. I just heard it on a commercial, and it sounded like the perfect song for how I had been feeling lately. You know, but we'll get to that towards the end of the video. But I was really happy with how this girl's face came out. I went in with my Inktense pencils on the background first, and it was just too light, so I ended up painting over all of that later on, which happens a lot in art journaling and mixed media stuff, which was kind of the reason why it scared me to start trying it in the beginning, because if you like something, it usually just gets ended up painted over. So and it ends up getting painted over, and I was afraid that if I liked something, I would lose it if I kept working on it. So I never really took it as far as I wanted to, and then I was always disappointed because I didn't push it as far as I could have. But I think I did okay with this. Like, the background was too light, and I wanted the moon to stand out, and so I went in with a darker color, a darker acrylic, and I just painted the whole background blue, but I had to add a lot of water to it because it was too opaque and you couldn't see any of the tissue paper or the scrapbook paper anymore. So I watered it down a lot, and then it was a big challenge to keep the paper from warping. It just wanted to curl up so bad, but I just took a couple of binder clips and clipped it down, and then it wasn't bad. And then I drew in the girl's face with an Inktense pencil, and I really love these pencils because you can just paint over them and they just like blend right into your paint. And they're so soft, so they draw on mostly anything, at least, and everything I've tried so far. So I was really happy with it. And I just finished a tutorial from the Art Sherpa. I kind of followed along with her because she did a tutorial that went into depth of how to paint darker skin tones, which I had a huge problem with. I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, and it really helped me, and I was really glad that I did that before I did this sketchbook page, because I love how rich the skin turned out, and like that chocolatey, that rich deep brown, and I could never get that before, and I didn't understand why. And the Art Sherpa explained it in a way that I could understand it, and I just loved that. And she went into how to paint that hair type also, and I really loved that hairstyle, and I just never could do it justice, and I hope that it looks okay in this piece. I hope so. I was really proud of it. I think it looks cute. I love how her face turned out, and I used my gelatos for her cheeks and everything, and I've been watching a lot of James Burke videos, and I love the style of eyes that he draws, so I've been kind of experimenting with that, so that is kind of inspired by him, if you thought that looked familiar and not like my usual style. But I've been trying to kind of mix it up and try new things and get better with the skills that I have and find something that's me, you know, which is kind of challenging. But I'm really, really happy, and I really love this paper that I used for the moon and the headband. I really love that. And I painted her shirt blue, and I went back and had to paint pink over it again. Because I don't know why I painted it blue, it didn't stand out at all. So I ended up painting over a lot of stuff. And I'm sorry I didn't show me painting every layer of the hair. It was only because my camera was having trouble seeing it because there was a glare on it. So it was really hard to see until I put the highlight on it. So I just recorded the putting of the highlight onto the final layer. And that was all covered in the Art Sherpa's tutorial, which really, really helped me because I've always had so much trouble painting that hairstyle, and I love it so much, and I was never able to do it justice, like I said. And I'm glad I did that tutorial, and I just love her. Her videos are priceless to me. So yes, I was really happy with how it came out, and I want to keep practicing it because I think it could be better. Like if I do this in like an actual like finished painting. Like, this is just practice in my sketchbook, but I want to be able to use that for an actual finished painting, and that's just so handy, and I really love this girl's face, so I might do that. I really might. Oh, and that was a Frank Sinatra song, not Fred Astaire. I don't know what I was thinking. It's Sinatra. The lyrics are from a Sinatra song, and I really love that song. I thought it was so cheerful, and I heard it on a commercial, and I really liked it. And I'd heard that song before, but it came on at the perfect moment, exactly when I needed to hear that. So that's what I used. I was like, you know what, that's perfect for that page that I want to make tomorrow. So that's what I used. So then I just added the highlights and the gold jewelry, and then I was done. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you like this page because it's one of my favorite pages that I've done so far. And I'll leave all of my social media and everything in the description box below, along with all of the materials that I used to make this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye!